When supply is low and demand is high, it naturally causes home prices to rise. And when home prices rise, it can really have an effect on home appraisals. And what we're seeing right now in this market is home appraisals are coming in lower than what the buyer agreed to pay for a house, which is causing problems. And we call this an appraisal gap. Today in this video, I'm going to talk about what buyers and sellers can do to prepare for appraisal gaps. So guys, in simple terms, when buyers are willing to pay more for the house and the appraiser comes in and says, oh no, it's not worth that much, it's worth less than that, there's a problem because then the buyer cannot complete their loan. So what happens? Well, typically the seller looks to the buyer to make up that difference. So just to make an easy example, if it's a $200,000 sale and the appraisal comes in at $180,000, well, the seller looks to the buyer and says, hey, you need to make up that difference because you already agreed to pay $200,000. The buyer says, well, I also have a condition in my purchase agreement that says that it's based upon the appraisal coming back successfully and saying that the value is what I'm willing to pay. So now we have a disagreement that a solution needs to be made. So not one side can force the other side, to do what they want to do. But it really helps to set the expectations ahead of time before the offer is made. So often buyers are agreeing to make up that gap, which would be called the Appraisal Gap Guarantee. So that buyer might say, I will guarantee up to $10,000 above the appraisal. So in that example, the buyer agreed to pay $200,000 for the house. It appraised at $180,000, but the buyer already said, I will agree to pay $10,000. So in essence, the buyer is paying $190 instead of $200. Instead of $180, they're guaranteeing $190 to the seller. So the seller can then make a decision. Well, I guess we did get multiple offers. It did go way above the asking price. That's fair. We'll sell it for $190. Great. You can continue the purchase, and it can have a successful closing. So you could do an appraisal gap guarantee. If you are a seller, just be cautious when you are negotiating offers. If you've got 3 or 4 offers, even the highest offer, if the highest offer is what you think is the best offer, be cautious, because if it's somebody who's putting a low amount of down on their payment, it might indicate that they don't have a lot of extra cash when it comes time to renegotiate the appraisal. So sometimes the best offer is not always the highest offer. It's going to be the offer that has the highest chance of getting it to closing successfully. So according to CoreLogic, appraisal gaps are increasing pretty quickly. They are about 1 in 5 deals right now that involve a loan have a appraisal that comes in low. And I would say that that's pretty close to what's happening in our market, maybe a little bit higher than what's happening in our market, but definitely significantly higher than what it was a year ago, which was about 7% of all deals had a appraisal that came in low. So we are definitely seeing more and more of this happening, and it's a part of the conversation more and more often. So what does this mean for you? Well, if you're a buyer, be prepared to put down less in order to make up an appraisal gap. If you're a seller, definitely pay attention to how much people are putting down on their offers, and talk to your real estate agent about pricing your home in a way that is going to give you the greatest chance of having buyers offer an appraisal gap guarantee. That's almost as good as a buyer paying cash. So guys, I hope this is helpful. If you're going to be planning on buying a home or selling a home in the next 6 months, this conversation is probably going to have to come up with your real estate agent. If you have any questions, please reach out to your favorite Anthony Realtor's realtor, and we'll be happy to help you.